Hi, my name is Leandra Sanchez. Today we will be discussing reducing recidivism through rehabilitation program in the U.S. prison. Recidivism is previously incarcerating tendencies to reoffend after release. Overall, in the United States, the recidivism rate is downright alarming. According to studies, 2/3 of released inmates are rearrested within 3 years. This trend highlights many flaws in the correctional system. It is due to over-releasing on measurements without tackling the root cause. Inmates in prisons do not prepare for reconnecting in the society. Rather than rehabilitation, the tendency is confined and disciplined. Prison inmates leave prison unequipped to change without access to education or therapy resources. Public safety, prison overcrowding, and economic costs are all affected. It burdens the communities and undermines criminal justice purpose. Rehabilitation provides an avenue to decrease the negative outcome. Behavior change and skills development program shows promise. Punishment might be replaced with transformation. The cycle of crimes and incarceration can be broken through rehabilitation. This presentation will suggest how that can be achieved through evidence-based off policies. The U.S. criminal justice system has dual crisis of mass incarceration and poor rehabilitation. Many people from Cabo are incarcerated in America than other nations. However, the rates of reoffendings are stubbornly persistent. The absence of widespread and effective rehabilitation programs in prison is a major factor. In Medicare situation, there are no or very few programs offering to prepare inmates for life after prison. As a result, people remain in danger of falling back into old habits, surroundings. With no education, therapy, job training, the chances slim of successful re-entry is practically slim. Furthermore, having a criminal record makes it difficult to find a job or a place to live. These challenges make re-engaging very difficult. It's a form of a cycle, being released and reincarcerated. Not only does this revolving door affect the individual, but it also undermines the public safety. When repeat offenders return without change, communities suffer. Budget cuts or inconsistent implementation often limit rehabilitation programs. These issues need a national strategy. The solutions to these policy problems necessarily reform to be well funded and coordinated. Rehabilitation programs are various kinds of related to various aspects of image development. Inmates are given opportunities to earn GED, a college degree through the educational program. They include programs that improve linguistic and boosting job perspective when released. Vocational training is learning a particular trade like carpentry or auto body repairs. Having these skills make former inmates more likely to get hired. A psychologist intervention called cognitive behavior theory, CBT, involves challenging disordered thinking. Using CBT, people are able to understand how their thoughts and actions can impact others. Many of the inmates are addicted and need substance abuse treatment. Therapy and relapse prevention are provided in these programs. Life skill programs work on personal daily responsibility and personal growth. It teaches time management, communication, and emotional regulation. Finally, the existence of re-entry program provides the link between prison and society. It helps to get housing, a job, reunite with family members. All of these interventions reduce the risk of reoffending. Some of these approaches are combined into a successful rehabilitation strategy. An inmate chances of transformation improves more support they receive. Studies have consistently shown that rehabilitation programs are successfully reducing readmission. A study revealed that these incarceration who engaged in educational programs are 43% less likely to reoffend. Education gives people the chance to make decisions and provide tools for employment. Other good results have also been seen using CBT program are aimed at changing the thinking patterns and consistently reduce violent and non-violent reoffending. Employment is a big step in reducing criminal behavior after release. A person with a job is less likely to go back to prison. Consistently and long-term substance abuse programs improve both behavior and recovery. Weaker results are found with short-term and unfunded programs. Better outcomes are achieved through programs that provide a holistic approach, including therapy, job training, and housing. The highest success occurs when interventions are tailored to the individual needs. Rehabilitation must be precise as the investment rather than a cost. Education and training produce long-term saving equals to every dollar invested. Research should develop policies change to improve public safety outcome, and the evidence clearly supports that the expansion of these programs across the United States. There are strong pieces of evidence indicating that rehabilitation is the best method, yet there are so many barriers to implement such programs. One major obstacle is funding. In many cases where state prison systems have a tight budget, the focus is security over the programs. Some leaders also favor time on crime approach because their policies. However, the resistance can hinder and affect the expansion of rehabilitation. Facilities also have a shortage of staff, which makes it hard to run programs consistently. An overcrowded prison environment restricts the opportunity to utilize classrooms or workspaces. Public proceeds can also be an obstacle. Some voters see rehabilitation as a soft on crime. It is an understanding that the politics will be funded meaning reformed. The lack of nation standard is another issue. Programs vary greatly in quality and ability. To reduce recidivation, we have to change our policy to rehabilitation instead of trying criminalization people. Secondly, all the correctional facility should be required to have core rehabilitation services. It's constant education, vocational training, and therapy. Secondly, it is required increasing the funding for the state and federal levels. If resources are not promptly provided, programs can't succeed. Programs should be designed and divided in light of the nation's standard. Through this, quality and consistency will ensure in prison. Faculty trainings for correction staff and training for participants in the agency programs also must be carried out. Long-term success depends on their support. Rehabilitation programs need to be reviewed periodically. Outcomes need to be tracked in order to grant that they will be affected. Earned credit systems can be used to encourage inmates to participate. As a result, inmates can shorten their sentence by taking a class or training. These incentives inspire commitment and motivation. Policymakers must view these efforts as investment in the public safety. Effective rehabilitation policy lower crimes and save money and strengthen life. This vision will become reality in the nation framework. Individual and societies are stand to benefit largely from rehabilitation programs. They are, most importantly, repeatedly offender reducing. The result of all this is safety communication with less crime. Less reexamination means fewer people in prison results in major saving of taxpayer. Getting proper training, improving employment opportunities for former inmates. It supports stable living environmental contributors. Re-entering success also cuts social services dependence. Individuals not returning to prison less to the families. The return of changed parents is good for a child. Fewer resident cycles through the justice system makes communities stronger. The prisoners get less overcrowded and staff workload and tent are eased. Rehabilitation is complicated, but it's not unsolvable. Rehabilitation programs work. Prevent reoffending is achievable through education, therapy, and job training. These programs must expand nationwide in order to make a difference. Success requires funding and politics support. It will ensure quality and consistency by meeting a national standard. For now on, correctional institutions need to focus on transformation rather on punishment. There are barriers to break down, such as budget cuts and public stagnations. With the strength of leadership and clear communication, they can build the support. Reducing crime is not all there in rehabilitation. Restoring life and community is what it's all about. The benefits are long-lasting as well as wide-reaching. One that will change the path of every person will improve society in general. Reforming the justice system is a moral and practical thing. Now, it is time to take action. Rehabilitation must be centered to the global set by public policymakers.